Hey there, everybody. Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CarterMatt.com.
This video is our first viewing reaction for the Expanse Season 3, Episode 9, which is entitled something that I am not going to try to pronounce. I will not be able to. I have tried in my head for the past 30 minutes. It's not going to work out. So we're going to just continue to talk about the episode itself, which includes rousing speeches, fond farewells, I guess fond farewell, it's hard to describe it, but also Miller takes a vacation.
Least a fair farewell.
It was a fair farewell, there you go. And, there's a lot of interesting stuff, let alone that final moment of this episode, just because The Expanse does not want to end an episode in a way that does not have you being like, what?
Yeah.
But before we do anything, if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other updates. Let's start with this. If Drummer gives this sort of rousing speech in front of you, are you going to leave the ship?
Well, it's kind of interesting because that speech was so good. I love Drummer. She's so just powerful. You want to get behind what she's saying, and I see why everyone was like, yes, and
it was like a production of Stomp by the end of it.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. I really enjoyed that. I understand why Naomi felt kind of the way she did, and I blame Ashford for it all, because he basically came to her and was all like about the Rossi. Hey, you're all feeling nostalgic, and I get it, but you can't go backwards, so you're here now, rah, rah, rah. And then it was almost like she thought about it in the way about the OPA and about the belt. Oh, I was being nostalgic about them and remembering the good old days of when I used to be part of this, and I'm not feeling it, and I came back to recapture that magic. And now we have Drummer, who's, they have such a good friendship and such a good connection, and even Drummer's speech, you can see Naomi is still like, oh man, that magic's just kind of not there for me.
I think it is a byproduct of the fact that Naomi has spent like the better part of the past couple seasons really living like the ultimate like space adventure in the first place, where she's been traveling around with her ragtag crew. They have been solving problems, they have been almost dying, and it's sort of just like, I think she was just trying to harken back to another period of her life, which, she has some memories towards, and maybe she, maybe on some level she's been thinking a lot about everything that happened in her kid. And
it's a bit of what Ashford said. We've all been there,
yeah,
where you think back to those good old days and your memories kind of shift a little bit, where you focus on all the good stuff and you kind of forget about why you aren't there in the first place. Like, why did you leave? What was negative about this experience?
I think being on the Rossi, those are the good old days. I mean, you're having lasagna with Alex. You're telling Amos not to kill somebody.
And even though you're not solving necessarily the big proto-molecule, bigger picture problem, you're still having an opportunity to fix little problems here and there and make a difference where you can, which is what she had originally said when she said she was going to stay on Ganymede in the first place. I want to make a difference where I can.
It's sort of like, do you want to be the person who is like canvassing the streets to try to like get a groundswell movement going? Or do you want to be sort of the person who's watching all these things happen and then trying to react to them on the other side? Yeah. And I think, Naomi's someone who's good on the ground. I think she's good, metaphorically going door to door and solving these problems. And, I feel like we're going to have a Rossi reunion over the next episode or two, but...
Well, were you surprised that Drummer let her go?
I wasn't, but at the same time I'm not, because Drummer, for all of the rousing, stomping speeches that Drummer can give, I mean, I think she's still a human being, and I think she also understands Naomi, and I think just on some human level, I think she wants Naomi to be happy. I don't think she would necessarily vocalize it in that way.
Well, I also think Drummer doesn't want to have somebody there that doesn't want to be there, because then they're then she's in a situation that she's got somebody that she can rely on. She's going to be able to rely on Naomi, but if her heart's not in it, then is she really part of this movement? Is this something that would then maybe kind of drag the spirit out of other people, or even maybe influence Drummer a little bit and drag a little bit of the spirit out of her? They are very close. They're really good friends. They've been working together a while now. It's hard to be that close to somebody whose spirit's not in it, but yours is. You get influenced by the people who are close to you. I wasn't too surprised to see that she was okay to let her go. It was the right move for Naomi, it was the right move for Drummer, and it was the right move for everybody who's there.
Here's the bad part of this. Drummer has probably had more screen time in the past 3 episodes than she's had in the past, season and a half combined.
Why is that bad? That is great.
It's great. It's bad because with Naomi gone, I don't know if Drummer's going to get the screen time anymore.
I think she will, because we watched the Nauvoo go through the rings. Now, everybody seems to be in there. There's a lot of people.
All right, okay. You can resume your Drummer chance then, because I am a little bit worried about the amount of Drummer content. So
I feel like Drummer and Ashford and the Nauvoo, they still have, or the Behemoth. I'm gonna call it Nauvoo forever.
Yeah, I know.
But I think they still have a role to play.
I hope so. And also, Fred, can you just show up at some point? Give us something. I thought you were going to get killed off. I did not think you were just going to be, wandering around in some sort of abyss, never to be seen again.
Yeah, no, here we are. Episode 9. Fred's still living. I was wrong about that. No. But, no, I really didn't think that was going to be a thing with everybody who's seems to be pissed off with him. I legitimately thought that this was going to be a thing. Instead, he's still moving around, figuring things out, working with Dawes.
Yeah.
Protomolecule here, scientist here. They're off doing what they're doing, so...
Anderson Dawes is busy taking care of Chernobyl at the moment, so I don't know how much we're going to see of him. But no, all right, let's go to the Rossi, where predictably things don't go too well for Creepy Cameraman.
Yeah.
This is sort of the...
Sorry for your luck.
Yeah, this was not going to last very long. I feel like that was sort of clear from the get-go. This is not going to be The Office, the Expanse edition, where there's going to be a camera crew around forever. Yeah, I know, you were not a big fan of the camera crew.
No, I was not a fan. And it's not that I wasn't a fan of the camera crew.
Yeah.
I get why they're there, and they've brought some interesting elements to it. The characters are fine.
Yeah.
They are a little bit of the foil for the team here by inserting themselves into these really personal moments and things that I'm not that pleased with. And that's fine. There needs to be that in the show.
Yeah.
To me, I just wasn't a fan of the back and forth from sort of the documentary style filming to what we've had. It just feels that's the thing that feels very jarring. I'd seen in the comments people were mentioning that some of the timeline jumps and the new people that were coming in was jarring for a lot of you out there. But for me, the thing that was jarring was going back and forth from these 2 different filming styles that just do not match up.
Well, I think the end of the documentary now is them getting jettisoned off of the ship, basically being like goodbye, which...
Yeah, and I thought it was going to go a different way.
Yeah.
I thought that Amos was legit just going to space them out and be like, okay, we're completely done with this, which is what I was kind of horribly rooting
okay,
for them.
We don't need Amos to space out anyone else. This is, it could have gone worse for you guys, so just be happy that you did not get spaced out or...
I wanted.
Yeah, or Amos could have done something else to them as well, but... really, it's just the big problem here is that Creepy Camera Guy clearly got over his head doing some sort of operation.
Yeah, I in some ways believe that he doesn't exactly know what he's doing. That he was very convincing.
Yeah, and I feel bad as well for, I think her name is Monica, the other person on the camera crew.
Filmmaker,
yeah, she just seemed to be just trying to do her job, trying to do these now she can go be Lilith on Shadowhunters, but
and win all the awards.
Win all the fan votes. But no, it's a quick end to this story. I don't think we're gonna miss it that much, but ultimately it serves its purpose, which is to screw over James Holden.
Yes, and to make me feel very uncomfortable these past few episodes, feeling like I'm like being a creep on my crew. That if the show wanted to make me feel that way, which I feel that they did a very good job with it. I felt like a creep.
Well, the creepiness is that part of the creepiness is over.
Yes,
I mean, there's still Miller and all the creepiness surrounding how in the world he is there.
There is no creepiness. Okay. It is all warmth and heart. He is there.
Miller is not there on sunshine and love and hugs. That's not Miller's purpose.
That's never Miller's purpose.
Unfortunately.
No, but yeah, no, it was that was a lot of fun and a little nice humor moments to see Holden in his room being like, Miller, where are you? And Alex at the door being like, hey, have you had that talk? Has he shown up? Just door shut. It was so good.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think it's a byproduct of all the weird stuff they have been through so far on the show that this scene can actually work, where you've got Miller showing up and Holden talking to him like presumably a crazy person, but because these people have all seen crazy person things, it's believable that Miller is coming to Holden and having conversations.
Yep.
It all worked. It was all funny, but, it does bring us to some important places in the end where Miller finally decides to show back up and,
tell him to go to the nucleus, basically.
Yeah, and that's where we end up with, Holden in space just going, and then that's the end of it.
Yeah, this show, you guys have told us to buckle up in the comments, and you weren't kidding.
There's some weird stuff going down, and I don't know exactly where any of this is going to end, but I'm interested. I think that's the best way to put it, and I mean...
I'm scared for Holden. This feels like a tremendously bad idea.
I don't think the proto-molecule wants him dead.
We don't know.
I don't know, but...
But the proto-molecule may not think that it's killing anybody. It's bringing everybody into the collective consciousness. It is just consuming more souls.
I just feel like if they really wanted to do some bad stuff to Holden, that was really, really... They've had their opportunities already. What are they waiting for?
Maybe they want him for a bigger purpose.
Maybe he is the chosen one or something like that. But, I mean, no matter what it is, I think it's going to be crazy over this next little while. But just about as crazy and interesting as learning the truth about Melba here, our resident does she have superpowers sort of person who, as it turns out, the other daughter of Jules Pierre Mao, who you thought Jules Pierre Mao was gone, think again.
Yeah, and it was cool to see Julie back as well. I know it was all flashback stuff, but it was interesting to learn a bit more of them and see how, even though Julie was so rebellious against her dad, that her dad had a respect for it.
Yeah.
And just that idea that the other sister is, and what do? You plan parties. It's a hard thing to be there. I mean, we've all been there, that we want our parents to be proud.
Yeah.
However, it's hard when your dad is,
the worst.
The absolute worst person on the planet doing terrible things. So now it's got Melba in this place where she's kind of doing these terrible things, but you can tell in her heart that she doesn't necessarily want to be doing these terrible things. But, revenge! And she wants to make sure that her dad is avenged, and that she shows him that she is just as strong as Julie is, and the whole thing is just, it's making me feel bad for her, and she's done some kind of bad things.
Melba is Melba's the best new character this whole season.
Yeah, she is really good.
And, it's because she is on one level really dangerous, but then on the other level she feels so guilty about being dangerous, and then
you don't see that. I can't even name another character that's been like this, where they're dangerous, but you feel for them, and she feels so bad about it, and she's so conflicted, and there's so much guilt on her. She is a great character.
She's a great character, and she hasn't even sort of reached her end game, but I think the thing is, she's already gone so far in pursuit of this end game that when she actually, gets it, I don't think there's no, walking anything back now. You've already gone this deep, and there's no real escaping anything that has happened. It doesn't matter how much you want to hang out with Anna or anyone else, you know.
I'm very curious if Anna's going to be the person that finds that transmission, because somebody's going to find it, that message that she left for her dad.
Yeah, and I mean, I think...
Because it's not going to be him.
No, and I think Anna obviously has some sort of larger purpose that we don't quite know about just yet, but she's kind of an interesting character in her own right, because it feels like Anna... I think she cares about her faith, but I think she also cares about sort of being... I think she wants to be in the history books on some level, that she is there for the first contact and all this other stuff, which kind of stinks if you're Anna's family, to be honest, because she just kind of keeps staying away.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a similar journey to what Alex is having.
Yeah.
You know, he loves his family and he would like to be there, but he feels he has another purpose and he's on that track right now. And it feels sort of the same with Anna, where, yeah, she loves her wife, she loves her kid, she would love to be back there. It hurts her to be away. But she does feel like she has this larger purpose, that she wants to be part of this new horizon of what is happening.
Yeah, and I think she's going to obviously continue to do things at this point because she's in so far with it. You can't just really walk back and get back with your family at this point. I mean, it was interesting, though, seeing sort of the back and forth between her and, you know, I don't remember his name, but the other, you know, sort of guy involved in all of this, where she was like, come on, you can do this.
Yeah,
and
he
no.
was like, false idols, I'm going back to my family, I'm a father. Yeah, it was an interesting conversation to see, because even though he was basically saying to her exactly the same position that she's in, he's willing to walk away from it, and even after hearing that, she's still not willing to walk away from it.
That guy just pieced out on the situation, and now she is going to be a part of the situation, which maybe it turns out that she makes the right decision and she ends up helping to save, you know, the solar system once again. Or maybe this goes really, really south for her and she regrets this immensely.
Well, that's the thing, is I don't know that anybody... It doesn't feel like, and I could be wrong, that anybody besides, I guess, the Rossi crew, everybody seems to be just more interested in what this is, more so than how are we going to get rid of it. And after seeing the Nauvoo / Behemoth go into it, and we know how big that ship is. Yeah. Like, it is enormous. And it was so small going into that ring that it just showed me just how big this is, that it may not be something that they can actually deal with.
I don't think it's something they can fix. I think it's something they can only hope to kind of understand, and maybe if they understand it, they can try to move forward from there. But I think we're being set up for some really good stuff in episode 10, which we are going to be discussing very soon. We're almost to the end of season 3, so stick around with us, guys, and if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what you thought when you first saw Season 3, Episode 9. And if you want to support us more, get a shirt like this one, check out the link in the description to the Carter Matt store, and we'll see you here next time.